Hello, everyone. Today I'm going to present on the tools and techniques for family therapy. This presentation is exploring the key tools and techniques that are used in family therapy to strengthen relationships, to improve communication, and to overall promote healing within families. It highlights how therapists assess the family dynamics through creative, structured methods and by the use of different tools and techniques, genograms, play based activities, and communication exercises. And so, by understanding these different approaches and how we are using them within the family therapy space, we can see how family therapy overall creates a safe space for connection, for empathy, and for transformation in the family dynamics. Family therapy is grounded in the belief that individuals are best understood within the context of their relationships. So it shifts the focus on from what is wrong with one person to what's happening within this family dynamic, within this family system. The aim is to create within the family dynamics and the system healthier patterns of communication, understanding, and emotional connection among all the members. Now, whether a family is struggling with conflict, grief, behavioral challenges, or even major transitions that are happening, moving from one country to another, or divorce, or any kind of conflicts within the family. Um, so here, therapy, what it does is it provides a safe space to express feelings, to listen to one another, and to rebuild that trust that may have been lost. Therapists in the family therapy setting then end up using tools and techniques like genograms, which we'll go on to discuss later on, guided conversations, creative activities. And this is all to uncover the hidden dynamics, to strengthen the empathy, and to foster a collaboration between the family members that may have been broken. And through this process, families begin to see themselves not as individuals, but as one connected unit, which is capable of growing, of healing, and of change. Family therapy draws its strength from several foundational theories that view the family as a living, interconnected system. So, the first one is systems theory, and that proposes that every family member influences and is influenced by others. So, a change in one person's behavior or emotion creates a ripple throughout the entire family unit. Structural family therapy emphasizes the importance of family structure. So the invisible boundaries, the hierarchies, and the roles that shape the interaction. So when these structures become really rigid or when they become really blurred, a dysfunction arises. And therapy helps realign them to restore the balance. Balanced family system theory, this is actually expanding the understanding by exploring all the intergenerational patterns that exist. So, how emotional issues, how beliefs, how coping styles get passed down from generation to generation. And this concept that Bowen came up with, it is a differentiation of self, which highlights the need for individuals to balance the emotional connection with autonomy within the family system. So together, these theories, system, structural, and Bowen's, right? They are forming the foundation of family therapy. They are guiding therapists in understanding the different patterns in the relationships, in the pathways, and this is all leading towards a healthier family function. Assessment tools in family therapy, it actually helps therapists gain a deeper understanding of what's going on within the family, patterns, the relationships, the connections, the emotional connections. Genograms, these are basically visual family trees that not only map just the biological relationships and connections, but also the emotional ties, the patterns of conflict, the generational influences that happen within the family system. So they help to actually identify any recurring themes. So themes like illness, addiction, emotional distance, which can actually be shaping current family dynamics. And so it focuses on the different generations. Eco maps, is another tool. And this is basically, we illustrate the family's relationship with the outside world. It is where we show, the supportive or the stressful connections, whether it's with schools, workplaces, friends, communities. And as a therapist, we are then able to see how these external systems are influencing our family's well-being. And lastly, well, not lastly, there are many other assessment tools, but family sculpting is also another tool, and it's a more experiential tool that is used. And this is where family members are using different body positions, chairs, or different objects, symbolic objects, to represent how they perceive a relationship and the emotional closeness within that relationship. And this often, when we're using different kinds of objects and positions, it brings a lot of hidden feelings onto the surface, and it creates extremely powerful insights to show where empathy exists among members, or what is the deeper connections and the deeper emotions. Using all these tools, they are actually giving you a holistic picture of what a family system looks like. And this is where meaningful therapeutic work actually begins. Effective communication, it lies at the heart of family therapy. You have to have really good communication skills to make sure that family therapy is really, really working. Many conflicts actually arise from misunderstandings, from unspoken emotions. So therapists use a lot of variety of communication tools to help these families express themselves very openly, and to also bring in empathy. Active listening, it encourages family members to truly hear one another, no feeling, no judgment, no interruptions, validating feelings, building trust. That's what active listening is. Circular questioning, this is another which is often used in systematic therapy. And each person here is given an opportunity to share how they perceive others' behaviors and emotions. And this in turn reveals patterns and perspectives that are often remain hidden. Reframing is another really powerful technique that basically shifts the meaning of the situation, and it allows families to view conflict not as a blame, not as a failure, but as an opportunity to understand and to grow. So when we use these tools and they work together, we're actually promoting empathy. We're reducing any kind of defensiveness that may exist. We are trying to build a more compassionate dialogue amongst the family members, and we want the families to connect on a more deeper emotional level. Creative and play-based tools, they are basically, when we integrate them into family therapy, we are bringing a sense of openness, we're bringing a sense of imagination, right? And we're making it really meaningful, especially for children who are finding it difficult to verbally express themselves. So art and drawing, when families are doing it together, it's allowing them to express their emotions symbolically. It's revealing all these underlying feelings, conflicts, and hopes that may not even come up to the surface just through a conversation. Sandtray or play therapy. This is a safe, non-threatening space where individuals, mothers, fathers, children, siblings, whoever might be in that family therapy dynamic, they are able to use toys, figures, stories, puppets, all as metaphors for their experiences, and they that helps the therapist also understand each person's inner world. And family collage or puppet work, I just mentioned puppet before, as it comes in play therapy as well, but it invites members to work together. It builds cooperation. It builds it encourages emotional sharing and empathy, because here families are co-creating these representations of their family life. They're acting things out, and so using all these creative and play-based tools is actually helping transform the therapeutic relationship. So, techniques for conflict and healing. Family therapy uses several experiential techniques to promote, understanding, empathy, repair within the relationships. Role reversal is one big technique that is used, because we allow, in this, therapists make the family members step into each other's perspectives by momentarily in that switching roles. And so they begin to recognize each other's emotions, their pressures, their unmet needs. Family mapping and rituals, this is used to basically strengthen meaning and connection. And when we visually represent our emotional closeness or any kind of emotional distance, and we start to build in family rituals where we can bridge the gaps. So shared meals, storytelling, different sort of little family Sundays, Friday movie nights. So all of these kind of rebuild unity and emotional safety. And this is what then we encourage families to do. Narrative therapy is basically encouraging families to reauthor their stories in a way. So moving from the blame or the pain and moving them towards more shared narratives of hope and healing and resilience. And together, when these techniques are all used, because it's not a one, just a one tool fix. We use multiple tools together. And we move this beyond the just the traditional use of different techniques. These actually help move beyond those old patterns. And there's a new sense of, we're together, there's possibility. So there's a picture here that I put of the kintsugi Japanese art, which is basically where you mend broken pottery with gold. And so it highlights that healing does not erase these cracks, which you can see in this picture. It's just building them into something more beautiful, into something with more strength, something with more connection. Coming to the end, in essence, all these tools, all these techniques, they do more than just assess. They invite families into a collaborative space. They give them a creative space where healing is promoted and where healing actually happens. Just like the tree of life here, right? Therapy helps family recognize their roots, to nurture and build on their strengths, and grow towards hope and connection. And so, through curiosity, through empathy, through shared storytelling, therapy becomes a journey of understanding, of repair, and what its main goal is to reconnect. And that's what happens. Thank you very much.